Okay, so just more of an update, really, on the Diddy situation, or certainly as far as I view it. Okay, so I want to start by saying there is a YouTuber called Murad Merali. He's a good YouTuber. I like him, I'm a subscriber. He's also covering this case. He's covering it very well, to be fair. He's giving regular updates on things that I didn't even know about. Good information. But his last one that I just seen, I have to comment on it. So Diddy's kids, they had a call with their dad, Diddy. And in this call, they're saying they miss him and they love him, and he's saying how proud he is of them for being so strong and stuff. I mean, you can kind of predict that, that's pretty much, that's what you would expect any family in that situation. That's any normal family's dialogue in that situation. Now, this YouTuber I'm talking about, Murad Merali, he says the minors in that video, well, he says all of them, but he's to even mention the minors, I thought was a bit crazy, really. He says they're assisting, what's the actual word, I forget the phrase that he used. But basically he's saying they're just as bad as Diddy in this. They're, I forget the word. I had to go back and check. It was annoying me. So he says they're an obstruction of justice. Diddy's kids, even the minors. I mean, yeah, I just have to comment on that. Now, like I said before, that interaction, that phone call, what's being said is what you would expect from any family in that situation. So, to be saying they're also an obstruction of justice, I think he's been a bit harsh. I mean, what do you expect him to say? How do you expect that conversation to go? Granted, they didn't have to record it and put it out there. I agree with that. But that's not Diddy's fault. I mean, listen, I'm not saying for 1 second Diddy's innocent, but I'm not saying he's guilty either. No one knows. We've seen this happen before with even Bill Cosby. And then, I didn't even know the full details of that case, but I know he got out after, like, what was it, a few months or a year's jail time. I don't think it's in fact, it's not that I don't think, I know for a fact, not every case, when you hear all these reports, they're not all true. They're not all not true. I mean, I'm stating the obvious there, but I think it's important because a lot of people forget he is not guilty at this moment in time. It's not looking good for him, but he is not guilty. So, I mean, you're not telling me every single person that is came forward in this, you're not telling me they're all telling the truth. I just think, let's not jump the gun here. Let's not jump to conclusions. There's so many reasons why, people could be making this up. Not that I'm saying that, but, let's look at both sides here. I mean, to be calling these kids an obstruction of justice, he's not even been found guilty yet. I mean, but why even mention these kids? Like, they're kids. I mean, I don't get it. Like, they're going to phone their dad, they're going to say they love him, they're going to encourage him. I guess maybe his beef was with the fact that they put it out there. They put it online because he was saying it's all part of the propaganda to make him look like a family man. Well, no, he is a family man. I mean, he's got, how many kids? I don't even know, 5, 6, I don't know, that's irrelevant. But he's clearly got a good bond with them. He goes on about, as well, how the Cassie video is damning, basically. And yeah, it is. I mean, I've seen it. It's bad what he done to her. But that case has been resolved. What happens in that video, the assault, that doesn't mean he's raped anyone or he's had relationships with minors. It doesn't mean anything. I could go on. All it means is he assaulted his girlfriend, which is wrong. You know, there's no two ways about that. I'm not saying that's not wrong. But you can't take that and then say, okay, that means he's guilty of all this other stuff. And I want to make it clear, because I know it might be coming off like I'm trying to defend Diddy and say he's not guilty. I'm not saying that, but give me one thing I've said in all this that isn't true, because that's all I do. I see a situation, I'll look at it, I'll try and get information, and I'll say what I see. What I've just said is, for me, it's just a fact. Also, just to touch on the Jay-Z and Beyonce links and why they're radio silent. Now, bear in mind, that could just be because the lawyers have told them to stay silent. It doesn't always mean a guilty conscience. I mean, hell, fuck, I've been in situations where I've not been guilty of what I'm being accused of. Nothing like this, by the way. This is nothing like the Diddy situation at all. But, same principle. And my lawyer said, don't talk to them. Don't say anything. Let me do that. And yeah, it's been things that I've not been guilty of. And I've stayed silent. That's all that could be. Simple as that. It could just be a lawyer's advice. I just think that we've seen this happen before, when people were saying Bill Cosby's going to be put away for life. Never happened. That's just one example. All the other examples don't really matter, but what does matter is this has happened before. I think it's important just to reserve judgment. Well, I mean, I say that, I mean, I'm talking about it now. We're allowed to have our opinions and speak about it, but I don't know, I just took umbrage to that, to call these kids an obstruction of justice. I mean, for a number of reasons, because they're gonna phone their dad. They're gonna say they love him, say they miss him. I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but just to go back to the point I was trying to make. I mean, to put it out there for everyone to see. Okay, yeah, I get that. But he's not even been found guilty yet. You can't say that's an obstruction to justice when he's not been found guilty of anything yet. Anybody can get accused of anything. So just my opinion. But on the Diddy situation, it is gathering pace. I find it bizarre as well how he's got so much power, but then you've got 50 Cent, Eminem, to name just two, that they chastise him. They bring him down to nothing. And yet he can't seem to silence them. I don't know, I'm sure there's many reasons for that, but I find that bizarre. I find many things about the case bizarre, but I find it very interesting also, and I'm following it closely, so time will tell.